Good day on another grey Monday, the last day of November, in fact, and another start to a week at the plot. It's been a busy day so far today, and I've just come down literally 5 minutes ago to pick some turnips and some beetroot for this evening. And I thought I would just have a quick chat with you about bird feeders. Now, it's really important at this time of year that we feed birds. Obviously, the weather is getting colder. I think we're about to have a bit of high pressure over us for a while in the UK, but basically it's getting colder. From tomorrow, we're dipping into our coldest 3 months of each year. So, we need to look after those birds. One way of doing that is to put out food for birds, obviously. Another way of doing that, and one that sometimes we might forget about or be a bit lax about, is making sure that the bird feeders that we are putting their food into are clean. It's really, really important. As you may know, we have bird flu in the UK at the moment. It doesn't seem to be spreading significantly, but bird flu and other diseases for birds are killers. And bird feeders are obviously a place where these diseases can spread very easily from one bird to another. So it's good to make sure that you're cleaning any bird feeder at least every couple of weeks. I know that can be challenging, but cleaning them at least every month is better than not cleaning them at all. And many, including the sort of cheap ones that you find in Wilko, the cheap plastic ones, can sort of simply unplug. In fact, hang on there, let me just grab one that I've got here. So this is one that I have. This is actually for Niger seed. It's got a really small hole there. And this one comes unscrewed at the top, so you can get in there and really get a good clean going on. And also this one, you can see some nuts in there. Those can be undone, which will take this whole bottom bit out. So the whole thing, effectively, when the nuts are undone, split into three. Wash them in warm soapy water, give them a really good dry, and then put them back together. With some of the plastic ones, they sort of push together, and there's a pressure clip at the bottom, and if you press the pressure clip together, you can unclip the whole thing. So yeah, look after the birds. I know we were saying look after the worms a week or so back, but look after those birds too, because they're eating a lot of the insects during the spring and the summer that we don't really want in our allotments and in our gardens. Another thing that I'm going to show you is some lovely Portuguese cabbage I was given. As you know, I'm a great fan of Portuguese cabbage, and a few days ago I was interrupted. I quickly ended my daily video because the person that had originally given me the Portuguese cabbage had some other plants that he wanted to give me because they were growing in his compost heap. So yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember now. But yeah, the other day I potted them on. So let me just show you those now. So here we have the Portuguese cabbage. There were 4 larger ones and 4 smaller ones, which have gone into these over here. And I do just love these because they get really nice and tall and are such a fabulous big leafed brassica. So even though we have some that we sowed a couple of days ago, in fact a week ago today we sowed them, and we have others growing in our allotment, these I was not going to say no to, and they will be very happy just in these pots over the winter months. So there we are, a bit of bird chatter to follow up with the bird impersonations I was doing in Sunday chat yesterday, and a little bit of Portuguese cabbage chatter too. I will see you again tomorrow for another A Week at the Plot. Bye. Good day. And what a glorious day it is. In fact, it's so bright at the moment. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's so bright I've had to come in the shed. It's like a summer's day out there, apart from the fact it's cold. They did say there was some high pressure coming in, and I think that's over us at the moment. Can you see that band of sun? That's there's a slat in the shed boards, and the sun is shining through. And of course, if the sun is shining through, then potentially water may come through as well. Anyway, where was I? Yes, today. I have a question for you. When is a countertop composting bin not a countertop composting bin? The answer is when it's a set of nail files. So, about 2 months ago now, I saw an advert on Facebook for an electronic countertop composting unit. And I thought, oh, that looks really interesting. A colleague, or in fact a client of mine, had given me some money for my birthday, and I had £30 left over. And this advert on Facebook, which was from a website and a shop called Sherin, had this electronic composting gizmo. And I thought, oh, I'll have a go at that. That sounds quite fun for my little bit of extra cash that I got for my birthday. So I bought it, and I went through the process. It said pay via PayPal, so I paid via PayPal, and the receipt came through to my email, and it said, this is going to be sent to you. And I think the company was based in Hertfordshire, something like that. And I thought, oh, great, fantastic. And then a couple of days later, I saw something. I'm not sure what I saw, but I saw this thing about scams. And I immediately thought, hang on, did you really think about that, Paul, before you bought it? Anyway, I went back to the email I'd received, and everything in the email looked absolutely fabulous and perfect. It was $19.95 with $9.95 delivery, so it was like $30. And then I looked at the email address, and the email address was gobbledygook@gmail.com. And I thought, hang on, Paul, you've been scammed. So anyway, I did a little bit of research on the internet. So I Googled it effectively. And sure enough, this company and various others were scamming people by putting up lovely things on Facebook and other platforms and sending out the most bizarre things from China. One of the things they were sending out were nail files. So I thought, yeah, this isn't right. Anyway, I contacted PayPal straight away. No, I didn't. I sent an email to the Gmail address that was there, and it bounced back and said that the Gmail address was no longer valid or something like that. So I then went on to PayPal and I put in a dispute thing, and PayPal immediately picked up the dispute and said that they would get back to me, and they've given me the 6th of December as a resolution date. But they did contact the seller, and then suddenly there was a tracking ID on PayPal for the goods that had been dispatched. And I thought, maybe I haven't been scammed. Maybe it was just a very odd Gmail address. Anyway, after my Googling and after seeing the dispatch reference number, I went onto Royal Mail, and sure enough, there was a reference number like that. I think potentially I need a new camera because it just shut off then. Anyway, I thought, oh, well, that's good. Something has been dispatched. Maybe I'm going to get an electronic countertop composting unit. Anyway, I waited and I waited, and then Monday of last week, these arrived. As soon as I saw this in our letterbox, I looked at the tracking number and I thought, I think that's basically going to be some nail clippers. And I opened it up, and there, sure enough, that's what it is. The odd thing with PayPal is you can't go back onto the dispute until they have resolved it and give them an update. But I did email the Gmail address saying that basically I'd ordered a home composting unit and I had been sent some nail clippers, which were pretty useless because I already had nail clippers anyway. And of course, it wasn't what I ordered. So that bounced back, not surprisingly. So when it gets to the 6th of December, hopefully I'll be able to go onto PayPal and let them know. I also paid for it via PayPal on a credit card. So I have that insurance on the credit card as well, because I have down to zero value insurance. So yeah, there we are. Anyway, there we are. I was scammed, and I've I'm so careful at so many things, but I thought, that's really good value. I didn't think, oh, that's fabulous value, I must get it. I thought, oh, that's really good value. Oh yeah, I can see how that could work. And yeah, I can see how it could dry something and grind something within sort of a $30 price. But yeah, there we are. There we are. I know for next time. I did actually see the same advert on Facebook a few days ago with a different company name attached to it. And I immediately reported that advert to Facebook. I haven't heard anything back from Facebook, but I haven't seen that advert again on my timeline, certainly. So if you do see something on your timeline for a electronic countertop home composting unit and it's for around $30, do not buy it. Anyway, there we are. We win some, we lose some. I think on this occasion I'll get my money back, so I won't actually lose anything, but it's made me wiser for the future. I know Jane from Jane's Allotment has been receiving an awful lot of emails of late from people in various parts of the world saying, can she help them in getting $50 million out of the country from an uncle who has died or something like that. And I guess we're all so used to that. I guess because it was Facebook and it was purchased through PayPal, maybe I let my guard down a little, but I've learnt my lesson. And hopefully, as I say, I'll get my money back one way or another. Anyway, there we are. When is a home countertop electronic composting unit not a home countertop electronic composting unit? When it's a set of nail scissors. I mean, really, honestly. Maybe they've been watching Sunday Chat and they think I need a bit of nail care in the foot department with my hobbit feet. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you're having a good day today. I'm in a rather jolly mood, as you can see. And I will be back to you very soon with another segment of A Week at the Plot. See you very soon. Bye. Good day. One of the jobs that I need to do at the end of each year, or near the end of each year, at our allotment is turn off the water for the winter. So we turn off the tap right near the mains where it comes into our site, and then I go around. We're on a circuit here, so I go around turning all the taps on fully and then turning them back just one notch. And that drains the whole system for the winter so that when it does freeze, water doesn't freeze within the pipes and within the taps and then burst, which of course is not good. And then in the spring, of course, I turn it all back on and close off all the taps before I turn it back on, or else I'd be going around the site and there'd be a whole load of taps spewing water, which would just be a waste. Anyway, that's it for today. It's a annual water turn off day. It changes each year. It looks as though we're starting to get to that freezing point now where over several nights the temperature could get to freezing. So when we do that, that's the time just before that happens to turn off our taps. You may be doing the same at your allotments, or your committee may be doing the same at your allotments. And I'm sure there are some that have water throughout the winter as well. We do have very large tanks. We've got three 350 litre communal water tanks on site. So what's that? That's 1,050 litres that people can use over the winter months. Of course, you can't use that for drinking. You can't use it for animals. But yeah, you can use it very happily for plants and seedlings. Okay, I'm going to get home and have a coffee, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye. Good day. Though in reality, it's a bit of a wet day today. As you can see, I'm not at the plot. I'm in our dining room, and outside it is wet and raining. In fact, it's been drizzling or raining since early this morning. It's now about midday and the rain continues. I do need to go to the plot this afternoon for a committee thing that I need to do. So I will be popping down there, but I thought what I would do is I'd give you a quick update on our broad bean tomato. I think in this light, it's not focusing very well. This tomato was in the bed in which we have planted the broad beans. So it self-seeded whilst the courgettes were in that bed. And when I cleared the bed getting ready to sow the broad bean seeds, I took this out and I put it into the polytunnel. It was doing okay in there, but then we had that bitter frost about 3 weeks ago, and both some of the leaves and the growing tip got bitten by that frost. Fortunately, because I brought it home and put it into the windowsill, so I was looking after it, where it got bitten by the frost at the growing tip, it's now grown new growth. So it's coming out at a slightly odd angle, but you know what? That doesn't matter. We know how well side shoots on tomatoes can grow and produce fruit from brand new plants. And yeah, we'll see how this one does. I haven't given it a name other than broad bean plant, but it's sitting on our kitchen windowsill and we'll see how it goes over the winter. I know that some of you, like Greta and Gabby, are actually growing tomatoes and have tomato fruit growing on your plants indoors at the moment. And I'm just completely astonished by that. I think it's fabulous. We don't have any grow lights, so it's just going to sit and get as much sunlight as it can. We're not really looking to get any grow lights either, because we do quite well without them. And I'm certainly not going to buy grow lights just to bring on one tomato. Anyway, we also have some tomato seeds called Tiny Tim that we got from Brian. And I think we might sow a few of those quite early to see if we can grow them on indoors. They are small tomato plants. I think they only get to a foot or 2 foot high, something like that. So they should suit growing inside quite well. When I do that, I'll let you know. It might not be for a week or so yet. We'll carry on looking after broad bean tomato plant in the meantime. But when I do get round to sowing those, I'll let you know. Anyway, I hope you're having a good day wherever you are. And if you're in the UK, I think it's very likely to be a wet day for you today. I've just spoken to Mum in Guernsey and it's raining there too. So, hey ho. Anyway, look after yourself. I'll see you very soon for another segment of A Week at the Plot. Bye. Good day and welcome to the plot. I'm not sure if you can see the condensation as I breathe, but it's pretty cold today. It's colder than yesterday. We are now 4 days into meteorological winter, which started on the 1st of December. And as I say that, the sun is trying to break through. Isn't that fabulous? But it is cold. It's 2 degrees colder than it was yesterday at the moment. As I've said before, you know, that's what we need to expect. We're going into our colder months in the UK now, whilst, of course, people down below are going into their hotter months. I just thought I would mention whilst I was down here, I've come down to collect some lettuce. Can you see the sun? Look, the sun, look. Oh, that's glorious. Look, if I do that, I'm actually in full sun. What was I doing? Yes, Heritage Seed Library. We have been members of the Heritage Seed Library for quite a few years now. And as a member, you get to choose 6 sets of seeds each year that you get sent. Your membership covers the cost of that, if you like. And the Heritage Seed Library, it's a great institution. They are trying to bring back heritage varieties of seeds, and we have grown quite a few over the years. They have seed guardians who grow particular types of seed, and then they build up the amount of seed that they have so that they can offer that to others to both grow and seed save from. The catalogue came out, or was launched, on the 1st of December, I think it was, and we immediately placed an order. And the reason that I'm doing this video today is because as I was coming down, I got an email to say that the seeds were being dispatched, which is fab. So hopefully by the beginning of next week, we will have all of our seeds for this growing year. And if you watch us regularly, you'll know that we count our growing year as the 1st of October to the end of September. So all of those will be in our fridge, and I will be doing a series of videos about exactly what seeds and varieties of seeds we are going to be growing in this year in a week or so's time. They may be sort of over a series of weeks that those videos come out. I was looking at the list as I was adding the ones that we just ordered from Heritage Seed Library. I was looking at our list of what we're growing, and it's amazing how many there are. And obviously what I'm hoping to do, as I'm keeping the seeds in the fridge in a cool place, cool dark place as well, is that the seeds that we don't use this year will be able to follow through to sow for next year. When I'm talking about next year, I'm talking about our 21-22 growing season, of which I'm already making notes of new things that I'd like to try. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know what we have ordered. I was a bit disappointed in some ways with the catalogue, because some things that we grew last year and one thing that we've grown before, which we adore, are no longer in that catalogue. So Madeira maroon beans, if you've been watching us, you have heard me talk about Madeira maroon beans so much. They were, we originally got seeds from the seed detective, who is actually now one of the seed guardians of Heritage Seed Library. We got the Madeira maroon beans from him at a talk he gave our allotment association, I would think about 3 or 4 years ago. And they grew well, but they suffered from mosaic virus, which was down to the compost that we had, because there was clover in that compost, and clover and beans together don't go well, and the clover can cause mosaic virus in beans. But the beans themselves were fantastic, absolutely lovely. A flat French bean, which is glorious as a bean pod in its pod, but also great as a dried bean for using over the winter. The other revelation for us last year, again from the Heritage Seed Library, was a Canadian runner bean, a Canadian white. And it's sort of, I think it's called a Canadian half runner. And it's not that big. It's a half-sized runner bean. But boy, does it actually pack a punch to it, and really, it's really prolific, which is great. And again, the dried beans are fantastic for overwinter soups and stews. What we're trying to do at the moment is grow beans that we can use both as a pod and also as a dried bean. That means that if some go over, then there's no problem with them being stringy and not edible. We use them as a dried bean. And I think it's a good idea to try and do that if you can. Anyway, coming back to what we're going to be growing from the Heritage Seed Library next year. Beetroot, Ukrainian organic. It's quite a long beetroot, and I'm looking forward to that. It's a red beetroot. Much of the other varieties we're going to be growing next year, or this year for us, are not red beetroot, so it will be great. However, it does say it's also great for making a tasty borscht. Cabbage, beetroot and tomato soup cold. No, Richard wouldn't have that. He'd be doing one of his at that, so we won't be having that as borscht. London Market carrot. London Market carrot is a really good one. It's actually from Finland, it says here, and I know somebody else here has grown it. I don't think from the Heritage Seed Library, but they've grown it and it's done really well for them. 2 types of lettuce. We're doing an Amish deer tongue, which is shaped like a deer tongue. It's got Amish in the title, and as you know, the Amish paste tomato that we grow is so glorious. I could not pass up Amish deer tongue. Burpees iceberg, another lettuce that we're doing next year. Burpees golden, the beetroot that you will have seen. Burpees is a big seed company in the US, and in fact one of our subscribers works for Burpees. We've had really good success with Burpees golden beetroots in the past, and I saw Burpees and thought, yeah, I'm going to go for that. And then a pea called Mr. Bethel's Purple Podded. Now, the reason I've gone for that is because it can be eaten both as a mange tout and as a podded pea. All of the peas that we're growing next year are mainly mange tout or can be eaten as mange tout, because we really do like mange tout both in stir fries and raw in salads. So yeah, fingers crossed on that one. And as its name says, it's purple podded. And then finally, I wasn't going to go for this, but I have gone for it, is tomato Sandal Moldovan, which is a Moldovan beefsteak tomato which looks a bit like the red ox heart that Gabby sent us last year, which did so well for us. And I thought, yeah, I'll give that a go. So we now have, or will have, once the seeds arrive from Heritage Seed Library, all of our seeds for next year. That doesn't mean I won't scoot in one or two more at some point, but I'm trying to be good next year, or this year for us, as I say. I'm trying to just grow the things that we know are going to work for us, or I believe we will like, or know we do like. So yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, do have a look at the Heritage Seed Library if you are interested. And I will see you tomorrow for another segment of A Week at the Plot. Have a good day. I'm going to go and pick that lettuce and then get back home in the warm. The sun has gone back in, as you might have noticed. See you tomorrow. Bye. Good day. A flying visit to the plot to bring kitchen scraps for the compost. And look at these. Another flying visit to the plot. And you see how these have been pecked. Look at that leaf there, how it's been pecked. And up there. Rookie error. Rookie error. I took the netting off, but I didn't take the piping out. And of course that is a perfect landing bay for pigeons. So actually it's not a rookie error, it's a pigeony error. I better sort that out now. So I'm glad I did come down today. I haven't looked at the brassicas for a few days. Clearly the pigeons have. It's a real rookie error. That's 3 years running for me. I've forgotten to take the blue piping away, the blue tubing away, and it's a perfect landing spot for them. And the other reason for making sure that you do take the piping away, many of us use bamboo to anchor those blue bits of piping into the ground. And of course, if you leave the bamboo in the ground over winter, it will rot away. So I think what I'm going to do is make a note for early November, possibly mid-October next year. No, possibly for mid-October and early November, to make sure that I've taken the blue piping away. I've usually taken the netting off prior to that. And actually, there's no reason why I shouldn't take the piping off at the same time. Hey ho. You know, these things happen to the best of us, and I'm certainly not the best grower in the world by any means. But yeah, good to have had that done today. So I'm going to go home now. Another warming cup of tea when I get home. The sun is just going down. There's some beautiful, just little bits of beautiful sky, clouds rather, in the sun. Yeah, I'll just switch you around so that you can see that. See you tomorrow. Bye. Good day. Look at the light coming through those brassicas. It's a quiet day today. Gorgeously quiet. I've moved these two troughs in by 10 centimetres. So this gap between the edge of the trough here and the edge of the bed here is 80 centimetres. So I'm still mulling. I found that when they were 90 centimetres out, they were a bit too far out. And now that I've moved them in to 80 centimetres, I'm sort of a little bit happier with them. I think this might be back to where they were before, because I moved them out a little bit and then moved them back. I'm not sure if you can see, there's an indentation here where this one was moved out a bit more and this one was moved out a bit more. But I've moved them back, so I'll continue mulling that, as I will continue mulling this area here. Though I do need to make decisions soon. But yeah, lovely and quiet today. The sun was grey this morning and it's rather glorious now. And I've just popped down to do a little bit of harvesting. There were a real gaggle of magpies a short while ago. I think I got some footage of it. They were in a tree right at the edge of the allotment. So if that footage did come out, I'll pop it on the end of this week's A Week at the Plot. The garlic, we'll see this in a tour in a day or so. This garlic, the porcelain music, as you can see, has been a bit erratic in its growth. But actually, I'm not sure if you can see over there, there's one sort of here of the mesidrome and the thermidrome, which are now coming out but taking their time, which is fine. Though definitely slower than last year. You see that one there, that's doing quite nicely. Yeah, in fact, they've all grown about half an inch, just looking at them in a short, well, not a short few days, but a few days. This is our onion bed. Bit of erratic growth here as well. Some just breaking through the ground, some much, much better. But this is what I wanted to show you. This one here, can you see that? I go in a bit closer. That onion, that whole fenella, whatever I do, putting this onion back into the hole and covering it up, the next day I come back and she's dug it out. I'm sure she thinks it's a game. I'm sure she thinks it's a game. Oh, look at the colour in the Cavallo Nero there. Oh, gorgeous. Right, that's it for this week. I'm going to get into the shed, tear cardboard and listen to Radio 4. Maybe Radio 4 Extra. I'll see you again for another Week at the Plot very soon. Bye.